As China's AI-powered humanoid robots become more capable by the day, they're also becoming harder to distinguish from real people. One prominent Chinese firm is becoming synonymous with the push for lifelike, emotionally intelligent robots that blur the line between human and machine. ExRobot is pretty much always going viral for its ultra-realistic creations that evoke amazement from some and horror from others. The attention the startup is getting now is the result of years of work that started long before the current humanoid robotics craze took off. As a growing array of companies race to bring their humanoid robots to the masses, EX is taking a radical approach with its aggressive expansion strategy. ExRobot was founded in 2013 in the port city of Dalian, in northeast China's Liaoning province. Officially known as Dalian Tiasi Technology Development Company, ExRobot was launched by a team of Liaoning-born engineers led by Li Boying, who earned a doctorate in artificial intelligence from Waseda University in 2010. Their research and development work goes back as early as 2009. The founding team's vision was to create robots that could seamlessly integrate into roles by closely mimicking human facial expressions, gestures, and communication abilities. In its early years, ExRobot focused on developing foundational tech rather than immediate mass production. The company started developing Android prototypes around 2016, emphasizing hyper-realistic appearance and AI-driven interaction over mobility. At the time, a race toward creating lifelike synthetic humans was quietly emerging. Hong Kong-based Hanson Robotics had just introduced the world to its intelligent humanoid robot Sophia, who quickly rose to celebrity status. Researchers at the University of Science and Technology in China also unveiled Jia, which was nicknamed Robot Goddess. Other lifelike robots emerging in the 2010s included Nadine by Nanyang Technical University in Singapore, Erica by Hiroshi Ishiguro Laboratory in Japan, Robothespians by UK-based Engineered Arts, and Harmony, an AI-powered robotic head from Railbotics. For the most part, however, humanoid robotics was confined to R&D projects within institutions like Honda, Boston Dynamics, and Toyota. Robots like Asimo and Atlas emphasize mobility, balance, and mechanical functionality over appearance. They could walk, climb stairs, and perform basic tasks, but they looked like machines with exposed joints and limited facial expression. Emotional intelligence and realism weren't priorities yet. ExRobot focused on upper body movements to replicate human facial expressions and arm movements. The startup set an early strategic goal to apply its robots in the service industry, envisioning them as receptionists, guides, entertainers, and caregivers. The robots use 3D printed silicone skin, flexible joints, and micromotor actuators to simulate human expressions and movements. They have more than 140 degrees of freedom with about 25 micromotor actuators in the head to control nuanced facial expressions. Their outer layer is made of food-grade silicone, painstakingly painted and finished by hand to reproduce tiny details like skin texture, pores, and veins. They can feature dexterous hands with multimodal sensing for performing fine actions. ExRobot developed an AI dialogue system that integrates voice recognition and a knowledge database. The androids can recognize human emotions and intent and maintain eye contact, responding with synchronized speech, facial expressions, and gestures. The company says its algorithms emphasize emotional perception and expression.
When we see one person doing a facial expression, all robots will do the same. This can help us build robotic substitutes of humans.
According to Chinese state media, one flagship humanoid model has been standardized for mass production. The half-body service robot with interactive AI is priced around $110,000 and is tailored for roles like corporate greeters and museum guides. ExRobot's humanoids can be customized for various service roles. The company essentially markets its core robot with different personas and software for specific use cases. For example, enterprise front desk reception and government service robots are dressed in uniform or business attire and preloaded with domain-specific knowledge. Capabilities include ID and facial recognition, answering frequently asked questions, providing directions, and even basic transaction processing. Robots intended for education and companionship are programmed for friendly interaction, storytelling, and monitoring of well-being. A unique aspect of ExRobots' product lineup is its custom creations, which are often modeled after famous people or characters. ExRobots has created androids modeled after ancient Chinese poets like Li Bai and Du Fu, who can recite poetry and engage in scripted banter. ExRobot has also developed replicas of famous figures like Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs, and Stephen Hawking.
你今天要是能不碰这瓶子，就把这100块钱拿走，这100块钱就归你了。
好的，没问题。
前提是不能碰到这个瓶子。
OK， 但是我今天一定拿不到这钱。
为什么？
因为你已经把瓶子和钱粘在一起了。
没有啊。
Recreating famous figures has proven effective as a marketing strategy to draw public interest and reduce the novelty barrier. On its website, ExRobots lists medical robots as another business area. While details are sparse, this likely means applying the humanoid robots in healthcare settings for therapy, counseling, and other patient interactions. CEO Li Boying has indicated the robots could play a role in auxiliary treatment and preliminary screenings for emotional and psychological disorders. ExRobot is also exploring elderly care robots, which would combine companionship with monitoring health and providing reminders for medication or exercise. To support its product range, ExRobot has registered more than 150 patents related to humanoid robotics. Key technical achievements include proprietary flexible robotic joints, a custom robot operating and control system, an intelligent expression system for facial movements, and a bionic dexterous hand design. ExRobot has evolved from making individual prototypes to small batch production. The company reported having more than 200 humanoid robots in operation in early 2024 as it aimed to produce 500+ units before year's end. The firm opened a dedicated production facility in Dalian to achieve this scale. According to ExRobot, it takes between 2 to 4 weeks to build one of the humanoids, depending on the level of customization. The process includes a mix of manual craftsmanship and advanced manufacturing. Higher-end bespoke models are priced starting at around $210,000. By mid-2024, the company signaled its orders had begun to exceed capacity. To control costs, the company develops its components in-house to reduce reliance on expensive imports. ExRobot says its lifelike creations are used in science and tech museums across China.
This is the Future Science and Technology Museum, which is open to the public.
The company opened its own museum in Dalian in 2021. At the Future Science and Technology Museum, visitors can interact face-to-face with more than 30 robots. ExRobot's creations frequently appear at high-profile AI and robotics events. The virality of the lifelike humanoids at expos and on social media helped China position itself as a global leader in robotics. In the West, that perception was somewhat muffled when footage from the 2024 World Robot Conference showed cosplayers masquerading as robots in its exhibit. The marketing strategy sparked debate online. Critics said it was misleading, noting that some high-profile social media accounts shared clips of the cosplayers as if they were actual machines. Others said it was obvious the women were human, so there was no intent to mislead. Internationally, EX made a notable debut in early 2024, participating in an event celebrating the 40th anniversary of diplomatic relations between China and the United Arab Emirates. ExRobot has benefited from China's strategic push into robotics. The Chinese government and private investors are pouring billions into a growing array of robotics firms, aiming to mass-produce humanoids throughout 2025 and corner the emerging market by 2027. It's taking a greatly different approach compared to perceived leaders in China's humanoid robotics market like Unitary Robotics, UBTech, Agibot, Magic Lab, and Engine AI, all of which emphasize bipedal locomotion. In the West, its counterparts include Las Vegas-based Railbotics, which sells its humanoids at prices ranging from $10,000 for a bus to $175,000 for a full-bodied variant, and Engineered Arts, which recently restructured as a U.S. entity to commercialize and scale production of its intelligent androids. ExRobot has been held up as a domestic success story, encouraging local governments to get more directly involved. The company has forged strategic partnerships with leading Chinese tech companies like Huawei, iFlyTech, and China Mobile, a state-owned telecom provider. This gives ExRobot access to state-of-the-art foundation models and cloud AI services. Looking ahead, ExRobot is working on standardizing its designs to facilitate mass production. While the long-term goal is to reach an affordable price point for businesses and consumers, the main focus now is getting the robots into as many public venues as possible to normalize their presence. A cornerstone of ExRobot's near-future vision is the aggressive expansion of its offline experience centers. As described by Chairman Yang Dongyu, the plan is to build 100 futuristic robot museums in 100 cities. The venues are meant to serve as cultural tourism technology complexes with exhibition halls, interactive playgrounds, training centers, and cafes and shops with robotic staff. By late 2024, ExRobot had already opened 2 facilities in Dalian and Shenyang and was in advanced talks with more than 20 other cities for new sites. The purpose of the centers is multifold. They act as showrooms to drive sales via exposure, generate revenue through ticket sales, and serve as local hubs for robot maintenance and training. The timeline for reaching 100 museums is not fixed, but they could potentially get there within a decade or so. The company says the existing facilities are already generating substantial revenue and should recoup costs in 3 to 5 years. Technologically, ExRobot is working to make its androids more human-like and functional. Mobility is also likely to become more of a priority. Although the company has deprioritized bipedal walking thus far, it could one day integrate mobile bases or legged platforms from technology partners. In interviews, Li Boying has said humanoid robots could become common in homes in the 2030s. However, he cautions that the industry must overcome challenges before that can happen. In the meantime, the company is apparently expanding its scope to the animal kingdom, as shown in this recent Instagram reel it shared of a hyper-realistic horse. In the People's Republic, robotics is becoming so pervasive, it's inspiring real people to act like machines. This popular Chinese influencer, who has appeared with ExRobot at major conferences, is known for the drastic steps she's taken to transform herself into a humanoid robot. For more on that, check the related video.